Nuts and milk, what did that say?
Jake Paul. Jake. Jake Paul.
Hey guys, Jake Paul fan here, number 500 for Everyday Bro. I thought it was really good, and it was really good, and it's one of my favorite things, and it was a brilliant song, and brilliant Jake Paul, and I wish him the best with his boxing. I've been doing some boxing too, to try 2 stars, 5 thumbs up.
Told you I'm not eating dinner until you give me my Lego back.
Is anyone actually a fan of the Pauls? The hate for them is so played out that I hate anti-Paul content more than their actual content.
Never done before. Vine is dead. This guy's hilarious.
And that says a lot, because it really is a slog to get through any of these videos at all. I would describe their structure as schizophrenic, and the characters of Jake and Logan Paul just unbearably animated. But you see in the comments, you would be very hard-pressed to find any actual fans of the content. There's some obvious children who are also over in Mr. Beast's comment section giving their home addresses out for some money. Jake Paul is a much worse offender because whatever his brother does, you will see him not only attempt at doing, but also come off as trying so much harder. Logan Paul is no saint either, but he has this certain type of charisma and showmanship that you only notice when you compare him to his brother, who lacks any of it.
Is it in my cooch? Is it going in my cooch?
No, good.
So, we have a social media star having a turn at making music. This is pretty standard stuff. But this wasn't a one-off thing. I was not prepared for the quantity of songs he has released. We are talking upwards of 25 plus songs. Add an extra 10 for Logan Paul's attempts, and I have shortened my lifespan by 10 years. Today, we're going to listen to all of them and pick out some specific gems to display the highs and lows of this polarizing duo.
So we have some friendly competition here. Who's gonna win?
But first, let me make a smoothie.
What came as a genuine surprise to me was that it was actually Jake Paul who cast the first stone into music production, and it was made during a really unique time where Vine, the platform that made them famous, was still up and running. So we are still in this arc of what I'm calling Silly Jake. The man next to him in this video is Greg Sipes, really the voice actor for Beast Boy and Kevin Levin. In this video, he is probably double Jake's age, and this does line up with his humor.
I couldn't get a girlfriend if I tried.
Well, I feel like, Teen Titans is the next big, franchise like Star Wars.
I grab the blackberries and I toss them in the cup. You know it's money with the honey and I drizzle it all up.
Even though I am clearly having the time of my life, this is Jake Paul at his most genuine, and it's one of the better songs that he's released. No cell phones, no internet, just people living in the moment.
No, definitely not. Oh god.
Logan Paul's first attempt, however, comes post-Vine and actually post-Actor, and it's an incredibly safe and predictable trap song, even admitting its inspiration from the likes of Designer and other popular radio hits at the time.
But is that one song gonna make you feel like pandas on endangered after all?
I found a pitfall many YouTube musicians fall into is this reliance on visual gags in a non-visual medium. It should be a no-brainer, but it's so common in comedy rap to have lyrics that, without the video context on screen, have very little to stand on. It's evident in almost every single Smosh parody. This doesn't seem like a big deal nowadays, but back then streaming was not as big as it is now, and the preferred online way of consuming music was buying the individual song on iTunes. So you are paying real money for an experience that is worse than the free version because it doesn't come with the video. As of 2022, this song is not on any streaming, but it's still heavily copyrighted on YouTube. Hey man, I thought this was a song about 2016, not 1984. Ooh.
It all started with Harambe, sweet little monkey. Can't believe you never got to hear Starboy.
It makes your comedy cheap and your songwriting questionable. I sound insane right now, but this song gave me a zen moment as I realized why I hate so much comedy rap in general.
Look at how I got everybody tuned in right now. They'll probably watch this for an hour. Tracy, I brought you flowers. Accident. Gas out the ass like flatulence.
The jokes are dated and crude, and Logan often walks off the beat to justify certain bars as jokes.
Rest in peace, Don Cheadle.
I think he's still alive, Logan.
Why would you say Don Cheadle's name here unless you literally couldn't think of any other way to progress the verse? To then write yourself into a hole, to then need to execute your own joke, bring in a voice that hasn't been here all song, to then compare the black man's life to the value of a monkey. God damn it, Logan. You're hard to hate, but you're harder to love. I have a soft spot for 2016. That was when I first gave a shit about music, so the song in its entirety goes down pretty easy for me. Both of these songs, however, are great anchor points, as we now have a reference point to how far they both stray from the path as their ego and bank accounts develop. So our journey has now led us to one of the most confusing and questionable projects I have ever listened to. Everything about the Song of the Summer is single-handedly the most bizarre, most 2017 thing I have ever listened to. I was in just absolute fucking disbelief. I felt my organs shutting down. I've never been just so completely and absolutely stunned. At some point in time, Logan Paul was so influential that he had a strong friendship with Dwayne Johnson. And for a while, the Paul brothers were really close with the rapper Designer, and I guess in 2017 that was a really big deal. I'm probably one of the 10 people still keeping up to date with Designer, and do consider him a guilty pleasure. I gotta admit, it is really hard to recommend him to people when he holds himself like this in interviews.
I already know it's gonna be hot. I already know it's gonna be caliente. Yes, I already know it's gonna be a little bit of panda. Right?
What the fuck is going on? This wasn't an interview, however, but in fact the intro to the Song of the Summer. Logan does his best Pitbull, and the producers do their best Chainsmokers as they fight for the love of this woman named Adeline Mock, who sings the chorus. Let's go! She has successfully scrubbed her name off this entire thing, and it took a lot of digging to make sure that this was actually the right person. It doesn't matter, because soon the song went apeshit. This is the song of the summer. So we have completely gone off the rails at this point. Logan's head has been pasted on a child's body and Designer stole his girl. It's a really interesting dynamic actually. Logan plays the straight man in this scenario and he does it really well. He genuinely looks like he's having a lot of fun in how absurd this all is. It seems to be slowing down. We've regained reality, but... Is that him? Is that motherfucking David Hasselhoff? Alright, so David Hasselhoff is here, dressed as a Viking with a flaming sword on a unicorn. Alright, he's gone. Thanks for stopping by. At this point, my brain was not receiving any more information. I've gone completely numb. Look at how many people worked on this. This easily would have cost 5 figures. And for what purpose? Baywatch. The movie Baywatch. I only put the pieces together after a comment on the Genius page reminded me that this movie even existed. So we have a Baywatch movie promo without Zac Efron, the leading man, Alexandra Daddario, the love interest, and Pamela Anderson, but we include 3 people who aren't even in the movie. This was the climax of a short series on The Rock's channel where I'm led to believe it's just Logan messing around with the cast who agreed to do it. Unfortunately, it's all been wiped off the face of the internet because of the suicide forest. I found a re-upload of the vlog and the production behind it is just that little bit too perfect. It oozes marketing strategy. But what is this series for? I get what the song is.
Imagine the future, boys, because you're not in it.
The song artist is attributed to $7, which I originally thought was the name of the producers in a Chainsmokers-like situation, but it actually is the name of the production company that produced the film and these weird Logan Paul vlogs. They went all in. They doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down. They put everything into this. 6 writing credits on the song, including fucking John Baptiste. Holy shit. All these talented people slaving over a song with a title that gets buried every 8 months. It fails as a single. It fails as a movie tie-in. It fails as basic movie promotion.
Gorilla balls. Testicles. Yes.
A poster on the side of a fucking bus is more effective. After the song was over, I didn't even know what to do with myself. I was watching raccoons eating grapes for 15 minutes. I just love like their little hands. This should have been a home run. I can imagine a lot of producers scratching their heads about what went wrong because by all accounts it should have worked. But we might just be smarter than Hollywood gives us credit for. Probably because the movie is MA15+, so they essentially lost all their demographic by default.
I'm going for a cup of coffee.
Shut the fuck up. We are flying dangerously close to the sun as we close out 2017. I still don't think I can articulate how much of a big deal these two were getting. 10 million views average at like 4 videos a week. It was a money printing machine. These guys were huge. They were bigger than Jesus at this point. And that's no exaggeration. Look at these pathetic numbers that Jesus was putting out.
Gaming Jesus back with our 5 reasons why video, quick fire as always.
That's like how many Low Gangsters and Jake Paul has bought merch in Q4 of 2017. No one man should have all that power. And definitely not someone who looks like Jamie Lang. We are now in an arc that I would call Ascended Logan. June 14th, a brave Logang follower by the name of Zircon professed his love for his Lord Logan and provided an offering in hopes of being noticed by his Messiah. And hark, his Lord responded, bearing gifts of epic Maverick merch and getting featured in vlogs. Noah Tesh would have his dreams realized and has truly ascended to be one with the cosmos. Do not succumb to temptations, Noah. He is but a false deity. In hindsight of Logan's career, I would say Hero was the worst thing he has ever put out. No Vine or vlog he has ever made me feel this delusional, this ashamed, this empty inside. Logan Paul flew out a 10-year-old viewer and made him sing the song basically sucking off Logan. Basically making him sing about how great and thoughtful Logan is. I mean, yeah, you can forgive all of that. It's not like he compared himself to Martin Luther King or anything.
Now who are you to say that this kid ain't MLK or even Kanye?
73 million views. I respect the hustle for writing and shooting a music video in 2 days, but shit, maybe you could have ran that through a couple spell checks or something. You know, anything to cut out that part where you compare the kid to one of the most prominent leaders of the civil rights movement. I mean, I guess he isn't wrong. Martin Luther King didn't listen to the haters. I guess he wasn't entirely wrong.
Everyone has a hero.
True.
0 people shouldn't have a hero. Yeah.
Gotta back out now. We are taunting God at this point, and I'm not even religious. Alright, Logan. You've attacked Don Cheadle, Martin Luther King, fucking Santa Claus.
Hold on, you're reindeer on my
How
roof,
did we
man. You're
get
messing
here?
up my
What is left in your warpath until you were satisfied?
little brother Jakey try to roast me? What? Little
Your own flesh and blood, Logan. Have you lost your damn mind? The pair were at their most desperate when they staged this fake drama between the two of them. It's hard to say why they did this or how much of this was real, but it was at a time in YouTube history where drama was a hot ticket item. And being the entertainers they need to give the people what they want. They've got merch to sell. We are now entering the business phase of the brothers, and we are very far from where we first came from. It seems like a lifetime ago that they were actually creating content to entertain anyone. Logan in recent times has spoken about how authenticity is the key to success in an online platform, but that's really rich coming from him. At this point, any human life behind those eyes is a win. It's a really messy couple of weeks, but trying to piece it all back together, I think this was the duo trying to make light of Jake getting kicked off his Disney show. It says it comes out probably 2 weeks before they officially dropped him. If this wasn't some weird way of staying relevant, then this is some actually pretty devious moves from the Logster. This is some Dick Dastardly shit on his own brother. This is messed up.
Wait, you were actually beefing?
Huh?
It was real?
It was real beef.
Like, for real, for real?
1000% real. Not a sliver of that was fake.
He does the usual shenanigans like stealing Jake's girl and, you know, the cars and whatever. Look, it all becomes white noise at this point. After listening to nothing but Jake and Logan Paul for a week, it becomes sensory deprivation.
We did it in one day. You had to spend 60K. Turn on your radio, Kiss FM just hit us with a play. Only thing worse than your song is the Logan.
But they patched it up as they do 2 weeks later with another music video. The boys are back and it totally wasn't planned from the beginning. No sir, we didn't just get Brian Griffined at all. Who cares about anything anymore? Pay $250,000 for a Gucci Mane feature, why the fuck not? If you thought any of this drama was true, then you were just a silly goose, there's no saving you. The feature of Why Don't We? A boy band in Logan's videos I can't wait to forget exist. They feature in a video 2 months before and they use the same filming locations. Probably just really poor timing about the whole real world drama thing. I know at this point I've been quite quiet on Jake's contribution to music, but I just don't have a lot to say about much of it. When he tries to be funny, it's not, and when he tries to brag, it's worse. If you put a gun to my head, I would say That Ain't on the News is to be his very worst. He talks about how misunderstood he is with some of the worst auto-tune I've ever heard. The more infamous music he makes, like Everyday Bro, I have nothing to say about it that other people haven't. Really, the other people on the song are arguably worse. One of the girls does this rancid harmonizing. And there's this just random pointless Spanish verse that everyone likes to conveniently forget. It gained the most traction, I think, because it was the launch of Team 10, one of the first hype house types of things. On top of all of the other issues present in this music, this song especially has this weird problem of people performing it and they like cut their bars short to breathe and begin the next line.
You need to get your shit straight. Jakey brought me to the...
It sounds really poor, and you can just fix this by recording the bars separately and pasting them together on the timeline. At the moment in rap, we actually have surpassed this, and the engineering dictates the flow of the song. Like you can see this, a lot of Lil Tecca's verses are so tight and streamlined, the words almost stumble over each other coming out, to the point that it would actually be impossible to perform every word on stage. There's no room to breathe. But it has that drive and power that you want. Not sounding out of breath and shitty is the main takeaway here. It sounds like they want it to be over as quick as the listener does. It's not even like a nitpick. You listen to it and it's like, that sounds bad, maybe do it again. The diss track wave was the dark ages. You could just put anything out and people could eat that shit up. But we aren't done yet. We have been through the darkest possible parts of selling out, both of them peddling merch and making them cornerstones of their rhyme schemes. We round out to the Christmas season of 2017. We all do some crazy things for the holidays, but I've never seen a level of shill to the likes of these two.